Here I am at the beginning of the dark moon gathering. This is a follow-on from the full moon gathering where we worked with the full moon energy, and now this is the dark moon gathering where we work with the dark moon energy. And this particular gathering, we reenact the myth of Inanna and make a conscious journey to the underworld. So that's what's in store. Everybody's coming in and getting ready to sit in circle. And again, there's all those beautiful flags that represent all the women who have come before us. Blessed be.
Yeah, kids are school. Busy, getting ready, out the door, go, 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 go. So traffic, right, really busy.
Here we are in the dark, not long past the winter solstice, and at the dark moon. A deep time, a time to let go. We've had a big day, going deep within to examine our roles in our lives and how we express them in the wounded way, what we need to let go of to express it in a healed way, and what we need to reclaim to express it in a healed way. And each of the stations, roles in our lives, we will visit at an altar on our way to the underworld as we reenact the myth of Inanna and make a conscious visit to the underworld. Well, it was a big night visiting the underworld. So much awesome. Confronting, challenging, graceful, easeful, all the things. And to be visiting each of the altars of the roles of my life and asking myself the question, who am I when I am not? How can I live this role in a healed way? And what did I need to let go of to do that? And then being in the underworld, the magic of this process to consciously go to the underworld rather than to be dragged there is the point. And this morning we debrief. More on my story later. I'm back home now, and so many huge things have happened since my return. And I can see that my experience at the Dark Moon Gathering, the healing opportunities that the experience offered me, which I will go into, prepared me for what I needed to navigate coming home. Evidence. So the primary focus of the Dark Moon Gathering is about the dark, the shadow, and the mythic underworld. And with the awareness that one cannot avoid the underworld in one's life, we purposefully go to the underworld, the place of our shadow, the place of the dark, on purpose, consciously, willfully, rather than being dragged there by some chaotic event in our lives. So it's about making a choice to go to the underworld on purpose, for the purpose of letting go of all that doesn't serve you in each of your life roles, listening to the dark goddess, the aspect of you that knows things need to change and will do all she can to fulfill that, and then ascending from the underworld with healed gifts. So we wrap that process in its mythic veil of the story of the descent of Inanna into the underworld and her return. And so after spending a day examining how we function in the world and in our families and at work and in our spiritual aspects, in our child self and daughter self, in our sister self, mother self, all the aspects of us, to really be honest with ourselves about how we are living that role in a wounded way, and therefore figuring out what we need to let go of to live it in a healed way and what we need to call in to live it in a healed way. So that was the healing opportunity of the Dark Moon Gathering, and then wrapped around the myth of Inanna, wrapped around that, created a beautiful ceremony with 7 gates on the way to the underworld, one representing each of the roles we play in our lives and designated to by a goddess's name. So Persephone, Artemis, Aphrodite, Demeter, Hera, Athena and Hestia, and working with the fantastic work of Dr. Jean Shinoda Bolen on the goddesses in every woman. My personal journey, this Dark Moon Gathering, as I said earlier, prepared me for what happened when I came home, but also gave me the next pieces in a lot of the roles that I play in my life, like my role as priestess. I got a new piece about how to live that in a more fully healed way. Likewise with my role in the world, my career, my role as mother, my role as partner and commitment maker, my sensual, sexual self, my sister self, and my child and daughter self. And yeah, I got some good pieces. Really good pieces. Some I'll share with you here. I really saw and felt the impact of my red thread, my inherited female ancestral trauma. That was playing out in obvious ways during this process, so that gave me the opportunity to do more healing there, letting go and calling in. I also got a very important piece in my role in the world, my Athena self, and in my role of leadership there, that I needed to, and did, let go of fear of conflict and having difficult conversations. And the quality I call in to my work in the world is strategic leadership. Also, I noticed that when I revisited, say, the decades of my life, and here at 68, I've had a few, that I could see the healing trajectory that I had been on in many of my roles. And, like, for example, concerns and worries in relationships that I no longer have anymore. Noticing that I feel much more secure and confident now as I've aged than I ever have. It's interesting me to see from my vantage point, my viewpoint at 68 years old, the journey of my life through this process. And as we say, this really is all about know thyself. And following that gathering, I know myself a bit more.